Be in the know with unlimited access to IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. Our in-depth coverage of all things business means you'll always be completely in the know. Subscribe for just $1 a week. Get started now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, September 12th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Indianapolis-based Geo, a fast-growing health tech company, has secured a more than $30 million investment, which the company says will help it expand into new services and geographies. The company offers a software platform that home care agencies can use for things like billing, staff scheduling, payroll, and analytics. CEO Tom Bumgardner.
We're a super high-growth company. Right now, we're in about 3 states, and we want to expand initially into about 10, and then we would like to be a national company.
The investment comes from Tennessee-based Council Capital and affiliates. The Northwest Indiana Regional Development Authority has approved the creation of a nonprofit subsidiary aimed at boosting private sector development in the region. The new land development entity will work with local municipalities to assist with acquiring and stabilizing challenging properties to accelerate the timeline for redevelopment. The LDE is launching with a $5 million commitment from the RDA. Autism treatment services provider Hope Bridge is adding 3 new Indiana locations by fall. A second therapy center is coming to the Fort Wayne area, and a 7th center is coming to the Indianapolis area, according to the company. Meanwhile, the Merrillville Center has relocated to a new building. The company plans to create about 100 new jobs at the new locations. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
The South Bend Redevelopment Commission voted Thursday to create a new residential tax increment financing district for the Lincoln and Kennedy Park neighborhoods, a move city officials said will channel new development dollars back into the community. Approved after a lengthy public hearing, the resolution establishes a 20-year TIF district that will capture property tax revenue from new single-family homes in the area. The city has partnered with nonprofit developer Intend Indiana, which has committed to building 92 new homes over the next 5 years. Joseph Molnar is Assistant Director for Growth and Opportunity with the city.
There's a lot of vacant lots in the area, but we know that we have these 92 new homes from Intend coming, so they're going to be building these new houses on some of those vacant lots. Those properties will be paying taxes. We know that once the new 92 homes are built, those taxes will be generated. And what this allows us to do is that last part where we can put that money right back into the neighborhood itself.
The proposed residential TIF district is located within the River West Commercial TIF district, with the latter capturing new taxes from commercial properties only. The LaPorte County Community School Corporation has formed a committee to examine preservation efforts for Kiwanis Field, which was named to Indiana Landmark's 10 Most Endangered list last month. Our partners at WSBT-TV report the district is seeking to have a study done to assess what the current cost would be to revitalize the property. Superintendent Sandra Wood said while the building is structurally sound, a lot of work needs to be done on both the interior and exterior.
It's kind of the same as if you have an old car. All of the systems start to fail and need significant maintenance and upkeep to keep it on the road. So it's kind of the same thing with this stadium in that we really comprehensively need to look at everything.
A previous study conducted 5 years ago found the facility needed about $10 million in renovations. Regardless of what the price tag would be, Wood said the committee would also need to identify ways to pay for the revitalization effort. Last month, the Ports of Indiana announced Dexter Salenda as its first Foreign Trade Zone and Economic Development Director. 1 month later, Salenda is preparing to travel to Kansas City, Missouri to represent Indiana at the 2025 National Association of Foreign Trade Zones annual conference, which kicks off Sunday. With trade policy in the United States in a state of flux, Salenda said his goal at the conference is to get a better understanding of the foreign trade landscape and bring that information back to Hoosier businesses.
The big part of it is to learn more of what are the actual legislative changes currently and how it will affect the businesses, because we need to make sure as a grantee to communicate this effectively with our local companies here in Indiana.
Salenda said his long-term goal is to better utilize the Port Authority's foreign trade zones to help existing companies create savings that can then be invested in their local operations. Westfield Mayor Scott Willis is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Curious about what's shaping law in Indiana? From court reforms and NIL rights to mental health courts and energy commissions, the Indiana Lawyer Podcast breaks down the biggest legal issues of our time. I'm your host, reporter Maura Johnson. Join me every other week for your insider guide to what matters in law and why it impacts you. Subscribe now in your favorite podcast app or at ibjpodcasts.com.
Want to give your team a real edge? The IBJ Group Plan delivers unlimited access to every story, every report, every video from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business for your whole team. Cover some or all of your employees with one simple payment. The more you add, the more you save. It's smart, it's flexible, and it saves you up to 30% off the standard rate. Already have IBJ subscribers in your office? Group up and save big. Learn more and get started now at ibj.com/group-plan.